Hello everyone and welcome to my Bachelor Nation 24 channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. ABP Snowbird Brown Cancer Update. Headed to hospital. Snowbird Brown gave a recent health update. She took to her Instagram on Monday to explain to her fans what was going on. The reality star reassured everyone that was she fine for the moment, but said that she was headed to the hospital. Her cancer scare in 2022 was featured on season 14 of the popular reality show Alaskan Bush People. So, what is going on now that she needs to see her doctor? Keep reading to find out. What has Snowbird Brown been doing lately? In the mountains of Washington state, Snowbird Brown, 28, makes her home along with other members of her family. They live a simple life raising their animals and living off the land. Snowbird keeps up pretty well. She posts updates on social media pretty much every month, letting fans in on what she's been doing in the bush. At the beginning of summer, she shared that she was taking an old garden that had been overrun by weeds and brush and redoing it by planting a few things such as zucchini. In addition, Snowbird helps to care for the horses on the ranch and the longhorns. In July, she introduced everyone to a few baby longhorns that were added to their brood. Of course, she has plenty of cats to keep her busy as well. In August, Mom Amy Brown celebrated a special milestone. The family honored Amy on her 60th birthday. It was bittersweet for them as matriarch Billy Brown passed away in 2021. It has been a rough few years for the Brown family, but they seem to be thriving these days. Along with the tragedy of losing their beloved husband and father, the Browns found themselves with yet another crisis. Snowbird was found to have precancerous tumors on her ovaries over a year ago. She had surgery to remove them, and thankfully they were not cancerous. However, her team of doctors strongly suggested a full hysterectomy, as they told her that she had a high risk of cancer later on. Snowbird is taking a road trip to Seattle. On Instagram, Snowbird said that she was headed out on a road trip to Seattle for a doctor's appointment. She explained that she is having a procedure done called a diagnostic laparoscopy. Although she didn't go into any further details, it is likely to see if there is anything concerning going on since her surgery. Snowbird has spent the past year healing and getting some rest. The Alaskan Bush People star had decided to wait a while before she made any decisions about getting a hysterectomy. It's a major decision since she wants kids in the future. This procedure may just give her some insights one way or the other. The Alaskan wilderness is as relentless as it is beautiful, a mirror of the strength and resilience of those who call it home. Among these hardy souls, Snowbird Brown, a beloved member of the Alaskan Bush People family, has always stood out for her quiet determination, her connection to the wild, and her deep love for her family. But recently, the challenges she faces have transcended the usual struggles of bush life. A shadow has fallen over her health, cancer. News of Snowbird's health struggles has been met with an outpouring of concern and love from fans. Snowbird, known affectionately as Bird, has always been private about her personal life. But as her condition became serious, she decided to share her journey with those who have supported her through the years. And now, as she prepares to head to the hospital for critical treatment, the world watches with bated breath, hoping for good news while knowing the journey ahead will not be easy. ####, a quiet storm brewing. Snowbird has always been a picture of quiet strength. Her love for the wilderness, animals, and the simple, rugged life has kept her grounded. But even the toughest spirits can be shaken when faced with an unexpected storm. The first signs of something being wrong were subtle: fatigue, occasional pain. But Snowbird shrugged them off, attributing them to the harshness of bush life. After all, the Brown family has faced so many obstacles over the years, from the loss of their patriarch, Billy Brown, to financial struggles, and the constant battle to survive in Alaska's unforgiving terrain. Snowbird had always met these challenges with resolve, so why would this be any different? But as time passed, the symptoms became harder to ignore. There were moments when the pain was sharp, impossible to push aside. It was Amy Brown, Snowbird's mother and herself a survivor of a brutal cancer battle, who urged her daughter to seek medical attention. Amy knew all too well the importance of catching these things early. Reluctantly, Snowbird agreed, and after a series of tests, the diagnosis came. A diagnosis that would forever alter her life. #### the diagnosis. Cancer. The word hung heavy in the air, like a storm cloud that wouldn't break. For Snowbird, it was a moment of disbelief. How could this be happening? She had always been so careful, living in the wild, eating clean, connecting with nature on a spiritual level. And yet, the diagnosis was undeniable. It was early stage, but it was there, a cancer that would require immediate attention. In true Brown family fashion, Snowbird kept the initial news close to her chest. She didn't want to alarm her younger siblings, especially Rain, who had just returned to the fold after her own mental health struggles. Bird didn't want to be the cause of more grief, but she also knew this was not something she could face alone. The family had always been a unit, strong in their togetherness, and now more than ever, she needed that strength. #### headed to the hospital. A new chapter in the journey. With the decision made to undergo treatment, Snowbird prepared to head to the hospital. For a woman who had spent the majority of her life off the grid, living in the bush, the idea of entering a sterile hospital environment was foreign, almost intimidating. But she knew this was the path she had to take if she wanted to fight and beat this illness. Her siblings rallied around her. Bam Bam, always the practical one, began coordinating the logistics of her treatment. Gabe, ever the protector, took on more responsibilities around the homestead to ensure everything would continue running smoothly. Noah, the family's thinker, offered his knowledge and research on holistic approaches to healing, while Bear, with his wild energy, promised to keep spirits high no matter what. And Rain, her closest confidant, stood by her side, offering emotional support in ways only a sister could. As Snowbird packed her bags for the trip to the hospital, the emotions were complex. There was fear, of course, fear of the unknown, of what the future might hold. But there was also a deep sense of determination. Snowbird had faced down many challenges in her life, from braving the Alaskan wilderness to enduring the loss of her father, and she wasn't about to let cancer take away her spirit. Her love for her family, the wilderness, and the animals she had always cared for gave her the strength she needed to face this new battle. The thought of her younger siblings, her mother, and her future adventures in the wild kept her focused on the goal, getting better, getting stronger, and returning to the life she loved. #### a community of support. As news of Snowbird's condition spread, the outpouring of support from the Alaskan Bush People fan community was overwhelming. Messages flooded social media, offering prayers, positive energy, and words of encouragement. Fans, many of whom had followed the Browns for years, felt a deep connection to Snowbird.